Who is the most overrated and underrated wrestler in the WWE, TNA, and in ROH? In ROH, I feel one of the most underrated wrestlers is El Generico, because I mean, great gimmick, the crowd is always behind him, and as soon as his music comes on, everybody goes crazy, man. But when you say under and overrated, at what standpoint are you talking about? You talking about from the fan standpoint or from a company standpoint? It really all depends. From TNA, I would have to go with Alex Shelley, and from the WWE, I would have to go with Shelton Benjamin. The most overrated from TNA is definitely, in a way, I would have to go with Sting, because he's just not as good as he used to be, and they're really putting too much on him. From ROH, I can't really say overrated, but maybe I would have to go with yeah, I can't really think of nobody. Jimmy Ray, a little bit. I mean, he is good, but he's not that good, you know. And from the WWE, I can't really say he was overrated. I know most of you people may want me to say John Cena, but a lot of people know he sucks, so that's why you can't really say he's overrated. Your thoughts on the stupid Black Machismo character? I think a lot of people are really liking him. Again, the crowd is really behind him, and for right now, this is what he needed. He needed a gimmick to really put him up. But like any other gimmick, like any other storyline, this is just gonna die out. LAX, that was TNA's best storyline ever, and it just died out. You know, everything is gonna die out, like the NWO. Eventually it died out, so that's what this is gonna do. Why would TNA push Jay Lethal into that dumb gimmick to be champion, then have him drop the title 2 days later to Samoa Joe? TNA has been doing this for a long time with the X Division title. Guys like Oliver Scott has pointed this out. That belt is a joke. Basically, they did this with Chris Sabin one time. He had the belt for like 2 days, and then AJ had it for like a week, and then Christopher Daniels had it, and then there was another time where Christopher Daniels won it from the triple threat match, and then he lost it like 2 days later to Samoa Joe. They keep doing this. They don't trust him in the main event of the TNA Pay-Per-View, and wouldn't it be easier to have Sabin retain at Slammiversary than drop it on Impact? Yes, it would have been easier, but I think what they were trying to do was to push Black Machismo, and I think since they're doing this champion versus champions match they're doing, that's why they wanted to put the title on Samoa Joe. That's the only sense that I can make of that. Who are those two guys in the background on your profile? I recognize those guys from Pro Wrestling No Promotion. That is two of my favorite wrestlers in the world today, and that is Kenta and Naomichi Marufuji, and I encourage all you guys to go check them out. Favorite belt design. My favorite belt design is everybody's favorite belt design, the Winged Eagle. I also like the WWA title. For your Q&As, Kenta and Marufuji or Edge and Christian, who's better? That's tough right there. If you're talking about just in the ring, then I'm going to have to go with Kenta and Marufuji. However, you're talking about hardcore matches, TLC matches, then I'm going to have to go with Edge and Christian. Chris Jericho versus Naomichi Marufuji. Crazy fucking match, that's all I can say. As far as reversals and mat wrestling, I'm going to have to give the edge to Chris Jericho, because sometimes he can pull off that line tamer out of nowhere. But as far as the striking and the high flying and more action, I'm going to give it to Naomichi Marufuji. But this match will be crazy. It'll be wrestler versus, martial artist, so that would be awesome right there. Do you think Sabu should go to ROH? Not really. ROH fans love their wrestlers more than any other company in the world, and Sabu deserves to be cheered. He had lived in the shadow of RVD while in the WWE and deserves to be a major star. I think he can fit into the ROH style of wrestling. What do you think? No, he doesn't fit into the ROH style of wrestling. He's more of that hardcore stuff. ROH has hardcore wrestling, so if he ever does appear in ROH, which he has, not in the ring, but he was in the crowd one day, I think he'll have a good match with BJ Whitmer. Definitely a good match with BJ Whitmer. Hardcore to the bone. I've heard that WWE moved Viscera to ECW to do sort of what they did with Snitsky. I'm sorry, bring the page down. Apologize, guys. I just gotta look for Wisniewski, which is have him run through the whole bunch of guys in ECW, then move him to one of the bigger brands, and eventually have him feud with the champ. Personally, I think this is horrible idea. What are your thoughts on this? They've been doing this in professional wrestling for 20-30 years, and that's basically the point. You have a guy, you have him run him through everybody, and then he goes against, and then he puts over the babyface. Al Snow explained this in the DVD. See, here's the thing. Let's say you're a guy, you're making $10,000. The top babyface is making $30,000. Okay, they push you up, then you put him over, then the top babyface starts making $40,000, but then you start making $16,000. The top babyface is still making more money, but because they pushed you and then you put him over, now you're making more money. That's why certain guys like doing this. But yeah, they've been doing this professional wrestling for a while, and so I guess they're gonna push him, so then he could drop to John Cena or any other top babyface. That's exactly what they're gonna do, because that's what they've been doing in wrestling for decades now. A lot of people explain that. Let's imagine there was no WCW and Booker T was signed to the WWE. Do you think that he will still be world champ? Who knows? I don't even. Maybe he probably won't even be in the WWE if it wasn't for WCW. When the time comes, do you think that they're going? What do you think they're going to do with Triple H and Orton when he returns? Who knows what they're going to do. I hear Triple H is going to SmackDown, and he's going to have a match with Edge at SummerSlam. Isbell reported this, and he also said he saw it in a commercial, but I don't know, because it seems kind of weird, Triple H going to SmackDown. Who knows, but maybe. Well, who do you think, what do you think is going to happen with Elijah Burke and Kevin Thornton? And they're starting to get lost. Man, I don't even know. The WWE, they're always giving somebody a push, and then, you know, then they fucked it, and then they fuck you up the ass. Who knows? Yeah, Kevin Thornton, he's losing a lot of momentum. I think he deserves a better push. As far as Elijah Burke, too many people are praising this guy. I don't see that much in him. Okay, I know he's a good wrestler and a good athlete. I just don't see that much that so many people are praising this guy. What are your opinions on Elijah Burke? I can't remember the last time he won a match, but I think he's already good. Do you see him being championship contender, maybe even going to Raw? I can see him with the Intercontinental United States Championship, or if ECW gets a secondary title, I can see him winning that. But come on, man, too many people give this guy way too much praise. Do you think the WWE is using Monty Brown rights? Of course not. What do you think made him leave TNA so suddenly? What happened was he was supposed to get a title reign, but then Christian Cage came in, so basically he got screwed over. Plus he thought he wasn't being used right, and he had a business that he had to take care of, so that's why he left. But no, of course they're not using him right. This guy should be a main eventer right now. Crazy. He had the best mic skills in TNA, and his in-ring skills are not that bad. I mean, look at that. He went straight from TNA to the WWE. They didn't even have to put him through OVW. I'm a huge fan of Ron Killings, and I think he should return to the WWE and go for the WWE title. What is your opinion? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with that, man. How did you get your screen name? Is that your nickname? In some ways, yes. crazyMike. There's many reasons why people call me that. You know, when I was in high school, I would just go crazy all the time, and basically, like on the football field, I wouldn't give a fuck how much bigger somebody was. You know, I'd always take them on no matter what. So, you know, there you go. Oh, and another question. This is old news, but how can SmackDown get back to the glory it once was, since they were practically raped in the draft? Well, SmackDown, it seems like it's going to be a developmental territory, so that's what I think they should do, man. Just bring in a new wave of talent and then keep letting them develop, and don't limit them so much and give them more time in the ring. Again, to be in the WWE is not easy. You have to have at least some kind of fucking talent, you know? But all in all, they got to let the cruiserweights wrestle like cruiserweights, and they got to expand their tag team division. That's really all they have to do.